Guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a Alex Draw makeup collection. I have been requested to do this video before and I thought I may as well do it today because I have got Leah here helping me film. Say hi.
Hi.
So if there's anything wrong with the focusing, then that's Leah's fault. So really quickly I'm just going to talk you through these drawers. Obviously these are the Alex drawers which I got from IKEA. You've probably seen them a million times before. And then on top I just keep my makeup brushes, which we're not going to show because they're not exactly the cleanest. So let's get started. So the top drawer here, as you can see, it is a bit random. So first of all I'm just going to show you quickly my Jeffree Star mirror. And in this section here I keep spare like spoolies, makeup sponges. I've got my Lash Addict eyelash case which I got from Primark. I've got Weaver mirror I have in my collection. It's really good. It's like a stand-up mirror. It's just good for travel. As you can see, it's full of foundation because it's usually in a makeup bag. In here I've got the mini Rodeo Drive for a highlight, as well as a smudge pot from Stila, and this is in the shade Kitten. I've got beauty blenders, Primark sponges, and the mini version of the beauty blender here. So I'll just keep these at the top because they're sometimes wet. In here I've got single shadows and pigments. So first of all I'm really quickly just going to show you one of my favourite eyeshadows. This is from Becca and this is in the shade Brushed Copper. It's just a really nice consistency. I've got a Kitten single from Stila here. There's a bit of a theme going on. And this here is a Champagne Pop Mini. So this is just great if I'm going out or, you know, put it in a clutch bag. I've got these two eyeshadows here are from Topshop. This is in the shade Changeling and this is in Shuffle Cards. I picked these up about a year ago and as you can see they are a bit ruined because I usually use them wet. I've got this other Topshop eyeshadow which my mum actually got for me because she said it just looked like I'd like it, and she was right. I've got a Kiko single black eyeshadow which is a really black eyeshadow. I love this when I'm travelling because sometimes I feel like some eyeshadow palettes just don't have a dark enough shadow. It's just a small one to take with me. And then lastly I've got some Peaches and Cream pigments. So this is in the shade Phoenix, which is my newest pigment. I've got the shade Disco, which is like a silvery pigment. Most famous pigment, which is famous, of course, pardon the pun. And this is Peach, which is just like a nicer everyday nudie kind of peach pigment. In here we've got my Chanel mirror, which I rarely take out because I don't trust myself, so that just stays at the top. I've got some minis again, so I've got a mini NARS Climax mascara, the Better Than Sex. I've got an Armani mini lipstick, which is I just love and I really want to get the full size of. I've got a lash glue here, individual adhesive. I've got another duo lash glue. I've got a glitter glue. I've got a mini base Natural Radiance Prep and Prime from MAC, which again I just take when I'm going away. I've got a mini perfume from Jimmy Woo, that's my favourite club in Amsterdam, from Jimmy Choo. I've got a sharpener, an eyelash applicator, some Revlon tweezers which are very jazzy, and a Kiss lash glue which I just keep in there. So clutch bag essential. The next drawer is like base drawer, I kind of call it. At the back there I have got some tweezers which we're just going to ignore for now. These are just 4 different shapes. My friend's mum got me these, so thanks Anita for these. So firstly I'm just going to show you these MAC Strobe Creams. As you can see, this one I've used a lot. So this is in the shade Peach Light and this is Pink Light. Great base and I love that consistency. I've got the Becca Backlight Primer here, which again is just lovely. It's just a great base, as I'm sure you'll agree. And then I've got a full size Fix Plus here and a miniature Fix Plus. So I'll start with concealers. I'm just going to run through them really quickly and I'm just going to point out some favourites because I have actually done a full concealer collection. And we've got a few additions since then, but I'm not going to go through it too much. So really quickly I'm just going to pick out these. So these are the Conceal and Define concealers. I've got the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light, which is a copy. This is a copy of the Tarte Shape Tape, sorry. I've got the Perfect Match Concealer from L'Oreal. I've got the Peggy Sage concealer here. I've got the MAC Pro Prolong Wear Conceal, pardon me. I've got 2 of the Lasting Collection concealers here from Collection, and they're both in the shade Fair 1. I've got the P. Louise base in Rumour. This is like the original, so it's kind of small. And then I've got the Revolution Pro Full Cover Camouflage Concealer, which I think is a dupe for that. And then I've got this MAC concealer, which is the Studio Finish concealer, which I've had for a long time, and it's probably past its sell-by date, but I don't really use it that often. So now on to foundation. First of all, I've got the Revolution Conceal and Define. This is shade F6. It's a bit pale for me, so I have just bought F8.5, which is a better match for me. I've got the Fenty foundation here in 210. I've got that twice because I love it. I've got the MAC Studio Fix foundation in shade NC25, and I have got it in a lighter shade at the back. I've got the LA Girl Pro Cover in shade Natural. I've got the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation in Bone. I've got that twice. I've got the Fit Me foundation in shade 115 Maybelline, which is great, and I want to try use more. That's the other MAC, which is in NC20. I've got the Huda Beauty foundation in the shade Cashew, which again is light. I feel like none of these are true matches for me. I've got this Lasting Finish foundation, which I go through so quickly, and I've just rebought that actually. I've got this one, which is the Lasting Finish 25 Breathable foundation. I used to absolutely love this for ages. I've got this, which is a L'Oreal foundation, which I have not used in ages, to be honest. The Wake Me Up foundation, which used to be one of my absolute holy grail foundations, so I feel like I've got to always have that in my collection. I've got a Primark foundation, which you can see I've used quite a bit. This is a medium coverage foundation. It's quite good for the price, $2.50, and that's in the shade Vanilla. I've got this Revolution Pro foundation in F6, which is actually really good if you apply it with a sponge and a brush, because I feel like at first I just couldn't hack putting it on. Got one more foundation. This is a Sephora foundation. This is an oil-free foundation, which I got when I was abroad. So this is 10 hour foundation. It's okay. It's in the shade Light. I wouldn't rave about it or suggest it though. And really lastly, this is a sculpting foundation, which I've had for absolutely years and I would not use. I just don't know why I still have it. I think it was my mum's and I took it from her, so I feel bad for throwing it away. This is my face drawer, so as you can see here, I've got mainly bronzers. Highlights, I'm just going to talk through them. And then underneath this, quickly show you, I've got some eye palettes. So really quickly, I'm going to speak through this, and then we'll go to the eye palettes. So I got these inserts as well from IKEA, and they fit perfectly inside these drawers. The good thing about these is you can still put things underneath them whilst this is in, which is perfect for me because I have a lot of things in this drawer. So really quickly, I'm going to start off with the things at the back, and these are things that I don't use daily. So I've got this Cover FX highlighter, which I actually picked up from TK Maxx. It's quite dark, but I think in summer this is like will be really nice. Just like a little bit added. I've got the Butter Bronzer here, which my cousin bought me over from America. I've got the Jeffree Star Cosmetics highlight, and this is in the shade Regina George, which is bright pink. I got this when I went to the Can't Relate tour. I've got a MAC highlight in Oh Darling. This was one of my absolute favourites I think about a few months ago. This is great when I'm fake tanned. I've got the Mariah Carey highlight here, which was the limited edition for last Christmas. I've not really used this highlight, and I'm going to sell it at some point because it is in high demand, and I know that people are selling these for a lot online. So this is an old highlight, so if anyone has any MAC highlights when it was in this packaging, you are like the OG MAC lover because they've not been in that packaging for years. So this is a Bourgeois Bronzer, and as you can see, I've used the top for mixing foundations. That's like holy grail. This is a Kiko highlight. This is one everyone was raving about using wet, which to be honest, I never fell in love with. I've got this Becca Liquid Glow. This is the Shimmering Skin Perfector liquid highlight, which is a really nice consistency for people that like liquid highlights. And I've got this NARS Monray Blush, which is very bright, and this is in Fetish. So in this drawer here, I've got the MAC Studio Fix powder, which is like one of my absolute favourites. I used to use this as a foundation. I've got so many of these in different clutch bags, in different shades, because it's one of them things I'll always have lots of. I've got the Benefit bronzer, so I've got the regular and the light version, which that's great when I'm going for a natural. This is great when I'm fake tan, ready for a night out. I've got this bronzer from MAC. This is in the shade Delicates. And this is a Studio Sculpt Defining Bronzing Powder, and this was in the summer kind of collection that they brought out. My sister got me that when she was in America. I've got a Bobbi Brown foundation here, which is in the shade Porcelain, which is quite old now, but I used to always wear this, especially when I used to do dancing, because it's really high coverage and it's great on stage. In this bit here, I've got some like highlights. Well, it started off as highlights. This is the Rose Gold Bank of Revolution, which is a copy of a Charlotte Tilbury highlight. I've got the Fenty Beauty highlight here. This is Mean Honey and Hustler Baby. And as you can see, I really love this shade. I do use that, but it's more natural. I've got this Rimmel powder here, face powder, with a blush, contour and highlight, which is nice just every day to put in my work bag. I've got this bronzing powder from MAC, which again is like an old one. This is in the shade, I hate how I have to do that. This is in the shade Golden. I've got this MAC bronzer here. This is in the shade Dark Golden. It's a really nice consistency, this, and I'd say that it's similar to the Becca one, which I love, which I'll show you in a little bit. In here, I've got Humi from MAC, which is a blusher, which I've never actually used. But I'm gonna make an attempt to use. I normally have a powder in there, but it's in my makeup bag at the moment. Here we've got Soft and Gentle New, so I've not used that one just yet. I've got a Broken Soft and Gentle there, so I'm kind of using them both at the moment. I've got the Doll Light highlight. This is in the shade, can't open it because of my nails. This is in the shade Shine Bright. As you can tell, it's been repressed because it's smashed. These are the most delicate highlights ever, just like a warning. So that's that one. This is the other one, Like a Diamond, which you can see is broken. I need to get that repressed. I might just buy the duo because they don't seem to smash as often. I've got the Mary Luminizer, which was like an old holy grail in YouTube world. I've got this one, which is Champagne Pop, everyone's fave, and my new favourite, which is the Prosecco Pop. So that's everything in the top drawer. So really quickly, just going through my palettes. Here I've got my Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, so I've got the Subculture palette and the Modern Renaissance palette. This is Huda Beauty palette here, just quite a small one, which I use sometimes, like not that much. I got this on a Cult Beauty offer. I've got my everyday stuff here, so I've got the Naked Heat palette, I've got the Naked 2, and I've got the Naked Mini. I've got a Max Factor Smoky Eye Matte palette, which I've never used. I've got a Zoeva palette here, the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I've got this palette here, which is from MAC, from that summer collection again. I've got this Too Faced Beauty Daydreamer palette. I've got my MAC Pro palette, which I've built myself, which isn't complete, which I need to complete. This is a Stila palette, the Revolution. At the back there, I've just got like a few NARS, Revolution, MUA palettes that I don't use that often, but they are there and they do come in handy. So in this drawer here, I've got all my brow products. So I've got the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Blonde and Soft Brown. I've got the Benefit Gimme Brow. I've got a Hema copy of a Dip Brow Pomade, and I've also got the Revolution Dip Brow Pomade. I've got the Cabrow from Benefit. I've got 3 MAC eyebrow pencils, so I've got the shade Brunette, Spiked and Fling. I've also got here a Micro Tattoo Brow Artist pencil, like felt, and I've also got this Hema brush here which goes with that. I've got eyeliners at the back here. Just going to go through a few my favourites. I've got the Zoeva one there. This is Maybelline. This is MAC in the shade Squid, which is a kohl liner. I've got a Sephora liner, 2 of the collection, and a Kat Von D there. I've got a few of the Peach and Cream eyelashes, mascaras. I've got like an Estee Lauder mini. I've got a Rimmel one, Better Than Sex waterproof, an Iconic London, and a MAC one there. Here I've got some eyelashes. I'm just going to go through them really quickly. Mainly Kiss products. I've got some Adore lashes, which are from a Poundland haul, which you can watch. These eyelashes here, the sultry ones, are only £1 from Primark. So as you can see, I've got lots of these ones from Kiss. I think my favourite ones out of these are Opulent, which you can see are quite dramatic. But I love a dramatic lash. I've got a few face palettes, as you can see, not many. So I've got the Anastasia Glow Kit here. I've got the Imagination palette. I've got the Be a Light palette. I've got this from Illamasqua, which is like a nice duo. This is the Sub-Zero palette, which is the highlighting palette from Be Perfect with a Murmur Mitchell collaboration, which is one of my absolute new favourites and has a shade for every occasion. As you can see, these just place really nicely on top. And my last drawer now is lips. So this here is where I keep my eyeliners. I've got loads. I'm not going to go through them all. I've got mainly nudes though, as you can see. I've got some of the Too Faced Melted Mattes here. As you can see, this is my favourite. That's a mini version of that. And my favourite one isn't in here at the moment actually, because it's in a bag. I've got a MAC lip gloss. This is like a metallic one. A Sephora. I go by this formula all the time. I've got loads of that in red as well. I've got the multi-pack of the Peaches and Cream lip glosses here. I've got NARS lip gloss there. I've got the Holly Boon Can't Deal. I've got a Tanya Burr, which is a throwback. The NYX Cosmetic Metals. Some of the Topshop lip bullets. Some of the Butter Gloss from NYX. I've got this, which is like a copy of a Jeffree Star. And this is PS Pro from Primark. I've got a Paw Paw lip gloss, which I got from Leah. I've got a Becca Beach tint here and a Jeffree Star, which is in bright pink. I've got a Duet lip topper here. This is in the shade Skinny Dip. And I've also got this one, which is the Funfetti, which I'm really quickly going to show you because this was a new Christmas collaboration, which I just think is gorgeous. At the back here, I've got my lipsticks. So this is a Too Faced one, which I love. Quite a few MAC ones in the shade Stone, Russian Red. This one here, which you can see, is from Armani. I'm just going to show you some of my favourites. This one here, which is Velvet Teddy, everyone's fave. This one, which is from Kiko, which is a bit different. Thought I might use that one day for a makeup look. I've got loads of them. This is also one of my favourites. It's like a Balmain one. And this is in the shade Urban Safari. Got that from Becca, so thank you. So that is it really. I'm going to stop the video here because otherwise, if you've not already clicked off, then you are committed. So thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, make sure you give this video a like and a thumbs up.